Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I would like to read in this winter season. So now that the autumn season has ended, or is coming to an end, I am filming this slightly ahead of the end of the season. I do have a few winter stories in here, but for me, winter is all around like fantasy, fairy tales, winter stories, polar horror, and like thrillers. And so with that, I have pulled out some books that I want to talk to you about, share with you, that I hope to read during the winter season. So the first book that I would love to get to during the winter season is After the Forest by Kel Woods. I have anticipated to start this with the bookmark. This is a Hansel and Gretel retelling, and it is so cute. My friend actually gifted me this copy because I was trying to get my hands on this, and she was not interested in reading it. So thank you so much, Annie, for giving this to me. I am finally going to read it, but I've been saving it because to me, the end of November, start of December kind of is the perfect time to read retellings, fairy tale stories. It's just so cozy and cute, and I feel like for me as a kid, I would always go see pantomimes and fairy tale stories during the Christmas period. So I think this is very fitting for the winter season, and I'm super intrigued to read it. And the edition is just so stunning. Like, look at this. Love this. So yeah, I will hopefully get to this during this season and tell you all about it when I get to it. So then I also want to read this short novella. I have tried to read this already. I soft DNF'd it back at the start of this year, actually, during that winter season. But I really want to read Under the Snow by Kirsten Erkman. I tried to read this back in January of this year. I had to soft DNF it because I just was not connecting with the story, and it is really difficult to read. It is a translated book. I think it's translated from Icelandic, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it is translated from Swedish by Joan Tate. So I would really love to get to it because it is like a thriller mystery story set in the Nordic landscape of Lapland. Shrouded in the unrelenting darkness of winter, a shrunken evening ends in two deaths. So I am intrigued. I love winter stories. I love polar horror. And obviously, if you've been here a while, you kind of know that already. And I will leave my polar recommendations down below, but I will also be doing an updated version of this. So you can have so many polar recommendations because I really love this genre. And yeah, so I really hope to read Under the Snow and actually finish it because it was kind of intriguing, delving into this mystery and how it started, but I just could not continue it. So hopefully I can finally read it during this season. And then I do also want to pick up another book that has been sat on my shelf for a little while, and that is A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. This author is a hit and miss for me. I really loved The Cabin at the End of the World, but I have really hated The Pallbearers Club and Horror Movie. So I'm never really sure how this author is going to go down. But I've heard that A Head Full of Ghosts is so good. It's like one of his best books. And I think that this time period is the perfect time to read the spooky, ghosty books. I feel like reading ghost books during Christmas and winter is kind of atmospheric. If you've read any of the Victorian Christmas stories, like The Christmas Carol, for example, it is centered around ghosts, and it is so atmospheric and creepy. So I feel like this is like the perfect time to be reading A Head Full of Ghosts. We'll see how this one goes down and if I'm going to write Paul Tremblay off or try some more of his books, but I am very intrigued to get to this. Another book I would really hope to get to is Among the Living by Tim Levin. I picked this book up at a conference and I think I actually got it signed. Yeah. So he has personalized this to me and has said that it is perfect for people who love the like icy winter but yet environmental horror. So I'm very intrigued, and he does tell me to beware of the cave. So I'm intrigued, and apparently this is a really good book, so I need to really read this. It's a horror thriller, so I think it kind of combines both of those genres, and it is set in the remote Arctic. So this is perfect for me. Really intrigued to get to this. Another book that I have on my list is one that I picked up secondhand and have not even had the chance to look at it. So it is The Hollow Kind by Andy Davison. I don't know anything about this. I just found it in a charity shop, picked it up, thought it was a really cool cover, and I know that people talk about this a lot. So I was intrigued. I think it's like something to do with grief and like gothic ghosty stuff. So the fact that it's kind of ghosty, thought perfect for winter, but we'll see how this plays out. I just thought it'd be really interesting to finally take this off, delve into it. It is chunky, but I do have the audio for this as well, so I could kind of read it and listen along too. This is an ARC version, but it was published in June of this year, and it's called Now Conjures by Freddie Kolish. Sorry for that pronunciation. Sheesh. This is a witchy story, so this would have been better for autumn, but I never got around to it in autumn. Too many books to read for all my videos, but this is a 90s kind of vibe, so I think that it's going to be a quick read, kind of similar to Amina and the Undead. Absolutely adore that series, and it's 90s inspired YA horror, which is similar to Now Conjures. So thought I would read it and see what the hype is about and finally take off this arc. So apologies for not getting to this. Now I'm moving into kind of more wintry stories, and the first one that I would love to get to is The Drift by CJ Tudor. This is a icy thriller that I think mixes horror and thriller together. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't read it yet, but the cover screams mystery yet icy, and I'm here for it. Cannot wait to delve into it. It says, outside a storm rages, inside a killer lurks. So who's the killer? I'm intrigued. I don't really give CJ Tudor high ratings. I read The Gathering by this author at the start of the year. I got a NetGalley arc of that because it was wintry and vampires, and I love both of those things. But unfortunately, I kind of give it a 3-star. Just did not really love it, but didn't hate it. So don't know how this one's going to go down, but I am intrigued nonetheless. So yeah, I will be reading The Drift during this winter season. And then finally, we'll be picking up another Ruth Ware book, and this time it is One by One. This is a snowy, atmospheric thriller that is set in a luxury chalet. It says, the opportunity of a lifetime until guests start to disappear. So it's kind of like a mystery. People go missing. I really loved One Perfect Couple from this year. That's the book that stands out to me from Ruth Ware. But really intrigued to give One by One a try. Picked it up in a charity shop, super cheap. So if I don't get along with it, then it's not too bad. But really intrigued because again, I'm obsessed with icy thrillers, so of course I have to read it. I've been wanting to read this one actually for a long time, since maybe the spring, but I just thought I can't read an icy story in the springtime because it's just not a vibe. So, well, it is a vibe. I mean, I would read horror stories set in winter all year round, but I'm trying to be more strategic with when I'm reading books for the season. So yeah, I left it until now because this is the time to read winter stories. The next book that I have is Foxfire by Ronan Hill. So I picked this up on Amazon because it was recommended as a really good icy thriller. It's set in a remote Finnish resort where people gather to see the Northern Lights. And I think something happens and people go missing, and it has folklore elements in here as well. So it's definitely a genre mix, and I'm here for it. Absolutely adore this cover. It is stunning, and I bought this in December last year, I think. So it's been sat here for a while, and I just need to get to it. So putting it on this list will hopefully mean that I get to it. And I love how books sometimes come with these trigger warnings. So if you do want to pick up Foxfire, beware of light domestic and sexual violence, animal death, and light gore. So it's really good to have those, I think. But yeah, I'm intrigued to read this. The other two books, they're not winter, so to speak, but I feel like wintertime is the perfect chance to read some more classics. So I picked up The House on the Borderland by William Hodgins. Hodgins? I don't know how to pronounce that surname. Oh my god. This is a supernatural horror story from the 1900s. So yeah, we'll be reading this. And there is an audio for this, which is lovely because we all need some help to get through classic stories sometimes. But I'm doing this whole thing where I'm reading older horror stories to kind of test where our favorite horror comes from. I will drop the link into the video that I did dedicated to reading the oldest horror story in the world down below, so you can check that out and see where the Gothic literature started, as reading The Willows by Algernon Blackwood. It's been said that this has inspired H.P. Lovecraft. Like I said, exploring older stories that have formed ones that we love today. I don't know much about this story, other than I know that they have inspired other works. Also, look at this text. That's going to take me an eternity to read. I was like, oh, it's so short, it's going to be incredible. Nope. There's like 10 pages worth of content on one page. So it's going to be an interesting time to get through. But I am intrigued nonetheless to read some more classic stories from the 1900s. And there you have it. Those are all the books that I hope to read during the winter season. Obviously, if I don't get to all of them, that's absolutely fine. I do have Christmas mysteries to read and everything else going on. So yeah, these are just hopefuls and things that I hope to read and want to read during the winter season to put me in the mood for the creepy, dark half of the year. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Let me know what you're reading this winter. And if you want to read any of these books and you would like to buddy read, just let me know. It'd be really fun to read some of these with you. With that, I'm now going to end this video. But until the next time, keep your pages turning and embrace the darkness. Bye!